Okay, this week's chapter of Toriko has seriously hyped up a lot of stuff on what's to come later on in this arc. And all I gotta say is, Shimabukuro, you goddamn better deliver. Hey guys, LunarSpawn27 here, bringing you Toriko chapter 277, Messenger from Bewitching World. Okay, this chapter is very heavy on dialogue, but it's very informative because we get to learn a little bit more on Gourmet World's history and is building up the hype on what's to come later on in this arc. So the chapter begins with the frog actually speaking in the human language and apologizes to Toriko and the others for speaking in frog speak because that wasn't intentional. So, you know what? I'm just gonna say that depending on the intelligence of each creature in Gourmet World, if they have high intelligence, then the creatures can learn other different languages. Now, it has been confirmed that this frog is the real frog that Toriko saw in Thorn Sea. This frog has a gimmick where every now and then he will go back to speaking in frog speak, you know, gero, 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 and all that, just like with Chi-Chi being a complete pervert. Now, before I continue, I gotta point out this title page. It looks pretty funny, and it's giving me some Dragon Ball vibes because they're just piling up on a car and driving. It's kind of neat. Anyway, we get the full introduction of the frog. He is a travel frog, and his capture level is currently unknown, and his name is Mappy. That's a weird name for a frog, but okay. And the car that he was driving, apparently that thing is alive. You know what? Sure, why not? Living cars. So yeah, the frog car is called Kareru, and it's an amphibian beast, capture level 455. So this thing is weaker than the Tonyudo by only 32 levels. Yeah, let that sink in. Now, the reason why Mappy came to meet with Toriko and the others was because he was following the Daruma Hermit's orders. For those of you who don't know, Daruma Hermit, the name was mentioned every now and then courtesy of Zebra and Baranchi. Baranchi because he lived in Bewitching Food World, which happens to be the same place that the Daruma Hermit was living. And it's been revealed in this chapter that he is the chief of the village, and Zebra because he borrowed the Hermit's Dharma horse, so we might get to see the horse again eventually. Fingers crossed for that. Also, one of the ingredients on Zebra's full course menu was the Daruma Hermit's tribute. What that is, I have no idea. And Mappy was there to guide Toriko and the others to Bewitching Food World, which means that in due time, we'll get to see not only the Daruma Hermits, but Baranchi again! Yay! Oh man, it would be so great to see Baranchi again. I wonder if he's changed during this year and a half time skip. It would be so cool to see him again. Komatsu imagine what kind of food Bewitching Food World will have, but Sunny is not really looking forward to that at all. Yeah, probably's got something to do with those eyeballs, the tentacles, and that one spider over there. Hell, he's even suspicious over Mappy, but Toriko reassures him, saying that he doesn't smell anything bad from him. Well, it doesn't really reassure Sunny, it just made him grossed out even further. Well, that doesn't really matter because they've all decided to go to Bewitching Food World by following Kareru. And apparently this thing is very fast because in a matter of seconds they nearly lost sight of the thing. Also, I just love the faces they're making. It's just so funny, especially the Octomelon in this one panel. Its eyes was bulging out of its sockets. It's just so funny. So the Octomelon tries to catch up to Kareru while Mappy decides to tell Toriko and the others some important things about Yuto Island and Gourmet World. According to him, Yuto Island, even though the mist has been cleared, is still a real tough place to take on because the island is like a maze, even at night. He tells them that there's a big difference between day and night in Gourmet World because night is when the 8 kings become active. But before Mappy can explain more about the current 8 kings, all of a sudden there's this electric-like aura surrounding the 4 heavenly kings and Komatsu, and yet Mappy is not even phased at all. Hell, even Terry, Quinn, Kiss, and Yun are affected by this. So does this mean that Mappy is the strongest in the group? Well, anyway, the source of the aura was coming from an area that Kareru took a shortcut, and that area contains a huge footprint. Seriously, this thing is freaking huge. But the question is, who or what caused this footprint? Well, in this chapter, we get to learn the 5th beast belonging into the 8 King of Beasts group, and no, it is not the Dharma horse, it is Horse King Heracles. The continent Area 8 is where Heracles rules over. So it has been confirmed that the 8 King of Beasts, each king, by the way, is inhabiting in each continent in Gourmet World. But the craziest thing is that this footprint was created several thousand years ago, and yet it is giving off this intense aura that Toriko and the others are feeling right now. A footprint created thousands of years ago is still, to this day, giving off this intense aura? Holy crap! But wait, there's more, and this wasn't confirmed in the manga. This is just some information that I found when I saw the panel of the Horse King Heracles. It looked awfully familiar, so after doing some quick digging, I just learned a surprising revelation. Remember Elg back in the Cooking Fest arc? It was revealed that he fused the top half of his body with the bottom half of a legendary horse king called the Heraku. Well, it turns out that the Heraku was an alias for Horse King Heracles. Yeah, that's right. The bottom half of the child horse that Elg used to turn himself into a centaur was a child descendant of one of the 8 kings. Now, from what we know so far about the Horse King is that it's an ageless creature once it reaches adulthood, and it's immortal thanks to its regeneration abilities. Now, I'm not sure if this other ability belongs to Elg or the Horse King itself, but if it does belong to the Horse King, that means that this thing can do clonal fragmentation, where if you cut the original body into multiple pieces, each piece will regenerate into a full-grown copy of the original body. So if hypothetically someone tries to cut the Heracles into multiple pieces, they're in some serious shit because there will be multiple Horse Kings. So if what I say is true, that means that the Horse King Heracles is still around, which means if we're very lucky, we might get to see the 4 Heavenly Kings versus Horse King Heracles, one of the 8 King of Beasts. Holy shit, I really want to see that. That would be so freaking awesome. Sorry, I got too excited. Anyway, Zebra noticed that the entire land inside the footprint was completely desolated. Not a single blade of grass, not even a single tree was growing. According to Mappy, it was because Heracles was really angry when he made that footprint. So yeah, the 8 kings can create beautiful places or very dangerous ones, basically altering the landscape by stepping on it, depending on their mood and depending on which of the 8 kings it is. Oh my god, I know the 8 kings were strong, but I didn't think they'd have the power to alter freaking landscapes by stepping on them. Also, dear god, Komatsu, your face! Poor little guy was affected so badly, he's making a face like this. Now, this one panel really did surprise me when Coco was comparing the tense state that they're feeling now to President being surrounded by a highest level of security, and Shimabukuro just drew Barack Obama. No, I am not kidding. That guy right there is freaking Barack Obama. Yeah, I just had to point that out. Anyway, Mappy tells them that the wild beasts are stronger and the environments are harsher at night. But there is a way to avoid the 8 kings and the harsh environments, and that is to take a safe road called Gourmet Highway. There are very few of them in Gourmet World, and they don't cover the entire world, unfortunately. And there are plenty of dangerous places in the Gourmet Highways as well. However, those without exceptional food luck would not be able to simply stumble upon a Gourmet Highway. Not only that, but Gourmet Highways can link up to 7 civilizations that once existed in Gourmet World. Yes, there are other civilizations aside from Bewitching Food World that existed in Gourmet World. However, Bewitching Food World is one of those civilizations that still remain to this day. What happened to the other 6 in Area 8? Well, it wasn't revealed in the chapter, but we can probably assume that they were all wiped out. Maybe the other civilizations, maybe 1 or 2 more, exist aside from Bewitching Food World. Who knows? Now, this wasn't really shown in the manga, but according to Coco, Chi-Chi told them that the dishes from Acacia's full course menu rested where there were once civilizations, which means that Bewitching Food World might be where Acacia Salad Air might be. But Coco did say, according to the translation, there were once civilizations. So maybe they have to go to a location where a civilization used to exist. But I like to believe that air might be in Bewitching Food World. They encounter another location called Gold Swamp, which links Yuto Island to Area 8's main island. Gold Swamp is one of the Gourmet 100 famous views and is a swamp made out of gold dust with a high specific gravity. So its buoyancy is so strong that you can swim in it and you would never sink. Mappy notices something up in the sky and he freaks out over it so badly that he starts speaking frog speak again, and what he saw were a bunch of clouds forming in the sky, but they weren't just any clouds, these were steel clouds. Mappy tells them that they have to dive into the gold swamp because if that happens, they are guaranteed to die. What happens? Well, we don't know because the chapter ends with a foot forming from the steel clouds. So yeah, that is Toriko chapter 277. What did I think? Well, this was definitely a dialogue heavy chapter, but there was some really good information that we learned about Gourmet World and the 8th King of Beasts. So the 5th king has been revealed to be Horse King Heracles, and I am looking forward to seeing this thing in Gourmet World if we do get the chance to see every single king from the 8th King of Beasts. Will Toriko and the others fight against this thing? Maybe, maybe not, we don't know. What I'm really looking forward to seeing is Bewitching Food World and the return of Baranchi, because I really like Baranchi as a character, especially as a lightning user, so it'll be really cool to see him again, and I really do want to see what this Daruma Hermit looks like because his name was mentioned every now and then for the past couple of chapters. Now, what is happening right now with the steel clouds, I wasn't sure at first, but it looks like a giant foot is appearing on the clouds. So is the steel clouds going to rain steel feet that are going to stomp on them? I don't know, but it looks like that they've come across another obstacle in Gourmet World, just like Thorn Sea, so they're going to have to fight against nature once again. So overall, I thought this chapter was pretty good in terms of learning some new information, and it does hype up on what's to come later on in this air arc, which I'm really looking forward to. So tell me guys, what do you think of this week's chapter of Toriko? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Any ideas of what's the deal with the foot? And what do you think so far of the information we learned about the 8 kings and Gourmet World? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you like it and subscribe to more videos. And be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So yeah, that is Toriko chapter 277. I'm LunarSpawn27 and I will see you guys later. Bye.